Who said that crisis equals negative moment, despair, sadness? Also, but not only. Perhaps stagnation, yes. Who among you has not yet felt the earth tremble under his feet, collapse or sink into a void that seems endless, where certainties, all of them, collapse, and you are left helpless before nothingness? Do you feel useless, stupid? Do you feel you have defeated the time for nothing, and you haven't traced the route, or the path has suddenly been interrupted and you no longer know where to go? I'm sure that even the youngest of us have tasted this uncomfortable and seemingly non-productive feeling. Actually, the etymology of the word leads us to choice, to separation. We remember the Greek krino, which means to separate the wheat from the chaff, also to discern. Then what? Can we take advantage of this crisis that grips us in a catastrophic or obstacle-filled past and decide to focus on what this moment is teaching us? When everything stops around me, or I stand still while everything is moving because external circumstances have forced me to stop, what do I need to understand? What is it that I'm missing? What is the lesson I bring from it? I'm here alone with my grey outlook in front of me, and it's really hard. The dark night of the soul. You see when it starts, but you don't know when it ends. Like this project, which springs from a void and begins to spin around itself, to charge itself with energy to radiate outward. So we are always in the spiral, this time that of the self, apparently negative. How can we get out of it? Several tools help us. Suddenly we find a book that is just the godsend at the right time. We magically meet a person who helps us to understand. We see how day after day, if we ask ourselves the right questions, emptiness gives us many answers. And then we write them down in a notebook so as not to forget. We start to explore and meet people who have lived like us some moments. We empathize, we are moved. And then one day, not too far away, the puzzle is formed and we understand the design. We get out of our supposed hell and we see the theater from the outside. Everything suddenly makes sense, a flavor we had not noticed before, and we feel more energetic. And day after day, this energy allows us to discover that after all, the crisis has brought us good luck. It has connected us more with ourselves, and thanks to that unpleasant event, we are more connected, more alert, and more awake from long sleep. Does it always happen? I would say yes. If you ask yourself the right questions, the curtain opens, and you start to see the whole scene of yourself and maybe to glimpse the direction you are going to take. Almost always, a master appears along the way. Someone who gives you the occasional point of inspiration to start something new from scratch, or reset your system and start again towards a destination, or simply like me, activate a starting point, have only one path in mind, and go with the flow. Suddenly these audios start to get longer. I don't understand why. I'm not finished yet. Where was I? Yes, going with the flow. I have never been able to. I will dedicate a chapter to this practice, very much in vogue, but absolutely difficult for those who, like me, want to turn everything into action, immediacy, concreteness. The flow is the flow and has no determination, only a constant in the present that flows in an absolutely unpredictable way. But let's pick up the conversation from the flow. We start to flow and immediately we see that things are not as they seemed, that the view has changed, that the food is different, that the space in which you live no longer has the same connotations. Everything has changed because you have changed. Hooray! Here we are at the big goal. The crisis that everyone hates becomes your point of strength. And now you feel powerful. And you thank the crisis. And although you have cried a lot, now you are bigger. You feel renewed, younger. You almost think, when is the next one coming? I'm ready. We are therefore in change. We are conscious beings in an environment around us that becomes who we are. The crisis is also a wake-up call, often harsh. Here too, if read with an unconventional eye, we can find awareness, evolution, healing. But do we really have to get sick to understand? We will see this perhaps in another episode. Now I can only tell you, if you are in the middle of a crisis, no matter how bad you are, try to open your eyes, the other eyes, the inner ones, and look at yourself better. Maybe everything that has generated it can become your greatest opportunity or the source of your luck. Then maybe you can tell me about it so I can enrich myself while you share your experience with me. I wish you all a good crisis.